Hey, अगर अभी तक आपने ये नहीं जाना है कि मैं AK वर्सेस AK का रिव्यू क्यों नहीं कर रही हूँ, इट्स बिकॉज आई एम इन द फिल्म. आई एम प्लेइंग माई सेल्फ इन वन सीन वेर एम इंटरव्यूइंग अनुराग कश्यप एंड अनिल कपूर. लेट्स टॉक टू विक्रमादित्य मोटवानी. जानते हैं कि ये कैसे हुआ, मैं फिल्म में क्यों हूँ, एंड व्हाई ही मेड दिस फिल्म द वे ही डिड. सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल. दिस इज अ रियली नाइस इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन एंड देयर सो मच more for you if you subscribe and like.
Hi Vikram, how are you today?
Good. How are you today?
I am
आप
chilling.
अमेरिका कब चले गए?
मैं निकल गई, कुछ हफ्ते हो गए निकल गई मैं सुमड़ी में ऐसे बिफोर टूरिस्ट वीजास also got suspended. मैं निकल गई हूँ, having a good time. Congrats on the film. It has turned out really crazy, which is I think the intended thing, right? That's what you wanted to do.
That's what I think there are right in the beginning, because it's so tempting to sort of say, okay, yeah, chalo, we can make this commentary and that commentary, and ye bhi keh sakte hain, wo bhi keh sakte hain, let's be snide about this and snide about that. And I think me and Avinash and everybody in the crew right in the beginning is like, we just want to make a really entertaining, funny thriller. But
Right.
thriller being the operative word. It's like at no
Right.
point in time do we want to step away from the fact that at one point in time there's going to be a massive suspension of disbelief, and you're going to be completely in this story, and you're going to be rooting for these characters one way or the other and trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Something that I had to keep in my mind saying, "Acha, theek hai, indulgent man ho ja," because it's so tempting in a movie like this to be indulgent and just like really. So I think we've got it right. I think it's a good balance. I think we've been indulgent in places, but also for the right reason.
सारे
And
सेल्फ
to have all the fun.
रेफरेंशियल अनिल कपूर के रोल्स वो एंड रैप सॉन्ग में डाल दिए. ऑल द रेफरेंसेस आर इन देयर. यू फाइंड द
हाँ.
ईस्टर एग्स इन द दैट इज एन
Yeah.
इंडल्जेंट सॉन्ग. You figure that out. But the rest of the film also
Yeah.
appeals to a global audience who don't probably know Anil Kapoor's filmography as well as you and I do.
Yeah.
सबसे पहले तो it's really quite such a thrill na to see my name in the credits with Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Special appearance. Something so ज़्यादा था ये Nawazuddin Siddiqui. It's too funny. For our viewers, one day Vikram called me and said that, do you want to act in my film? And I said, no, because I'm not an actor. I'll just make a fool of myself. And then he said, no, you have to play yourself interviewing AK and AK. I'm like, wo main kar sakti hu. That I can do. And we shot for one day and that scene turned out so fun. It's the first, like the opening scene of the film.
What do you think of your performance in that scene?
I am really happy that you kept all the eye rolls and the face palms. Every single eye roll and face palm made the cut, and that makes me very happy because I was scared, yaar. I was like, मजाक नहीं उड़ना चाहिए, but fun. Turned out
My
good.
favorite moment is that whole Vasepur moment. Yeah, where you're like, you by which time you're so gone, and you're like, well, gangs of Vasepur, sun lo.
Yeah, man. Really great. So tell me something, what came first, Anil Kapoor or the script? Because the script is, it's his whole family is involved in it. You released it on his birthday. Everything is just tailored to him, right? So what came first?
The script came first.
Right.
And it's just, the script came first, and Avinash Sampath, who's the writer of the film, sent me this idea, and he spoke to me about it and sent me this idea saying, what if we do an AK versus AK? Because he's from advertising, uske paas title bhi tha. It was such a cracking idea of like a director going out and filming this whole, kidnapping the daughter and filming the whole thing in real time and all that. Or daughter / wife / whoever. Anurag literally was the only person who could play the director's role because and we thought, it's only Anurag. Of course, the other AK could have been, there's multiple people. And thoda, at that point of time, we made a little bit of iske paas jate hain, but uske paas jate, thinking like, who are we accessible to? Who's not going to slap us? Who we can actually sort of like go to, we can actually sort of like pitch it very, acha, ye picture hai, and that kind of stuff.
ऐसा
And then,
मतलब 500 गाली देना है, please agree.
so Shahid was doing the film at that time, because Madhu was managing him, and Shahid, and I narrated to him, and he got excited and he did it. And then it didn't happen for multiple reasons. There was a schedule clash because he was doing Vishal's film and then my film. Then we could never sort of like make it work. And whatever happened, it just it fell apart. I got into Sacred Games and Bhavesh, and then finally, sometime last year, come July, I was like, dude, I really want to make this film because I just feel that. And this idea of Anil Kapoor had been stuck in my head for about a year before that, saying he's actually knowing the film and knowing what the film is. I'm like, he's actually perfect for this. The idea being that if you wanted to have two guys who have to go out and prove something to the other person and to the world at large, which I realized back then, Shahid doesn't need to prove anything. He is a movie star and he's not going to prove anything other than to a few people who believe that, or whatever, in the world we're creating, tu bura actor hai. right?
Correct,
Which is what I'm
correct.
saying.
या तू
In the
मतलब हो
moment
गया
you're
तेरा
seeing that,
time निकल गया.
but in Anil Kapoor's case, it's a genuine thing. You sort of like look at the fact that तू बुड्ढा हो गया, अभी तू side पे बैठ. Whereas, and for his thing, it's like, boss, I want something to prove. And Anurag's thing where Anil Kapoor telling him that you are a shadow of what you used to be. And so in that sense, it felt correct. The weightage of the film felt absolutely correct with Anil Kapoor. So again, same thing happened. I went to Avinash lives in Amsterdam. I went there to Amsterdam. I said, I'm coming. Let's just sit for 3 days and we'll crack this. So I went there. बैठ के उन्होंने पूरा crack कर दिया. Came back and I gave Kapoor the script and I ran. आप पढ़ लो. मैं भाग गया वहां से. And but he loved it. He loved it. He called up. He got every single nuance. He understood everything. He's like, and then Anurag was writing the dialogue. And Anurag said, "Yeah, how far can we go?" I said, "Dekh, yaar, matlab try maar de. Let's go all the way. If we get pushback, we'll cut it back." We went all the way, and Anil was happy with it. And I think also because Anurag is. And they're both so secure, na yaar. Matlab insecurity nahi hai. You saw what that there's so much security in both of them. So
it is so meta on so many levels. Like you have this scene where he's doing the "My Name Is Lakhan" dance in front of an audience because he's up on stage and the audience like do it. But when we were shooting this scene with the at Mami, he was actually doing that for the audience. He was entertaining them. He was getting them to applaud. He was chatting with those people because that's just who he is. He is that guy who gets up on stage and makes sure that everybody is having a good time. And that's why it feels like Anil Kapoor came first and then the script followed, because it just wraps around him on all the contours, like really like, snug. It's very snug around him.
Great. That's what he brings to it. And I think that's what's great. And even in that scene, even in that My Name Is Lakhan scene, like, we went and we shot in Dharavi mein raat ko, and hamaare paas the kuch, we'd got some extras and that kind of stuff. And I put them over there. When you're shooting in Dharavi, everybody comes to know shooting. Acha kaun hai? Anil Kapoor, this, that, the other. He went on stage. He said, and he made the announcement. Bhai log, hum shooting kar rahe hain, aap log aa jao. Next thing you know, you've got that entire ground which is full.
Amazing.
And so all the stuff you see, where it's like when he's coming through and people are pulling him and they're holding his hand, those are real fans. Those are not setups. Those are actually people there who are actually reacting that way. And thankfully, this is a film which allowed it that, camera mein dekh sakte ho yaar, tension nahi. Every 80s nightmare in moments like this is the fact that camera mein mat dekho. If you ever go on sets, you'll have every 80s going, don't look at the camera.
And here you're like encouraging people, please come in front of the camera and dance. Like, look into the camera.
Look into the
and
camera.
I also observed there's like some guerrilla cinematography also going on, right? Like when he's going to the taxi drivers and he's talking to them, chatting with them. Those are not actors, no? Those are actual taxi drivers of Mumbai.
Actual taxi drivers. We actually went out at night, and it's so easy to shoot this, right? Getting him with one video camera behind him, but it's like everybody when they look at Anil Kapoor, it's Anil Kapoor. और चेहरे पे खून है, oh, क्या हो गया? There's that, and then he's looking like that with his phone saying, आप पहचानते हो. So a lot of people like. Some people are like, this is something very shady, but a lot of people are like, no. In fact, at some point in time, a policeman on a motorcycle actually stopped.
Yeah.
And said, what happened? And I said, and Anil played along. Said, I'm looking for this guy. मेरा कुछ चोरी हो गया, ये इसके बाद है, आप पुलिस स्टेशन आ जाओ.
Because he wanted you to get that shot also. Put that shot in the film also, if possible. He's giving you that.
He's giving me that, exactly.
He's giving you that. Let's talk about the cinematography a little bit. The camera work is excellent, right? Swapnil Sonawani, because there's so much running, and there's just like you keeping pace with the action and the actors, and trying to get the right light because there's no light sources. You're trying to work with the lights in the room and stuff like that.
So because you want to go with this documentary type feel, and I think one of the things was like when we wrote it was like, okay, it needs to be a handy cam, purana wala handy cam kind of feel. And of course, today's day and age, no one uses handy cam, so it's just let's upgrade it to. So we used the Sony FS7, which is actually their documentary camera. So we used that. I wanted one of those like servo zoom, purana wala zoom hota na, zoom in, zoom out, telephoto, that kind of stuff. We wanted that sort of feel to it. So we rigged the camera for that. Now all these new cameras in today, especially the digital world, are phenomenal in terms of like just being able to get light. Yeah, you really don't have to light anymore. It's almost like it's such an interesting. And here, because we were going with this like grungy, dirty, ganda aesthetic that we wanted. Because half of what me and Swapnil had to approach this with is saying, we will eventually go out there and shoot it. And so there's two parts to it, right? One is the fact that, okay, I'm shooting it because I just love the fact that I can go out there and shoot these 8-minute long takes. And have a camera follow it around, because that's the aesthetic of it. But as a director, I'm delighted because I'm actually watching my film play out in real time.
Yeah.
So we shot the whole film in literally 15 days. Eventually, 15 days of what we shot is actually in the film. So I can judge whether a scene or an entire moment of the film is working or not very objectively in that moment itself. I don't have to think of 10 shot leke usko kaatna padega and that kind of stuff. So it's bang on, right? It's right there. But the second part was like, we're almost sort of approaching saying, okay, what would Yogita do? Because she's the filmmaker, I'm not the filmmaker, right? So you're trying to sort of say, okay, in today's day and age, what would she do? How would she approach this? What would her look and feel at the end of this be? What would the edit pattern be to this kind of stuff? So it's kind of interesting. You're trying to put yourself into somebody else's shoes, trying to look through to somebody else's gaze and sort of do that. So there was that. But the technical part of it is just the fact that those cameras are amazing. You don't need to do, you need to do very little in terms of lighting these days to be able to. So, and which is, so your lighting has now become, it's really about the aesthetic. It's not about the function. You know, back when you had to actually light for a function, you have to light to get things seen. एक तो वो लाइटिंग करना है कि कुछ दिख जाए, उसके बाद लाइटिंग करना है कि ठीक है मैं थोड़ा एस्थेटिक कर लूं. आज it's only about the aesthetic because things will be seen.
But I have to congratulate Harshvardhan Kapoor. This is his like career best performance. It's not just Anil Kapoor. Like his whole family is in on the joke. His whole family is making fun of themselves. How did you get his whole family to agree to do this?
Anil right in the beginning, he says, "Dekh, मैं कर रहा हूँ." I said, so the original scene in the house was written with Sunita, Riya. Harsh was always supposed to play that bit of the entire thing, and the dining table was supposed to have Sunita and Riya in the scene. So Anil said, "Yeah," he said, "I'm not talking to the family. You have to talk to the family. You have a relationship with all of them. You will go and talk to them." I said, "Yeah, क्या कर रहे हो?" So then Sunita, of course, before मतलब no entry मारने दिया ही नहीं उसने, kind of stuff. She's like,
her
no,
voice is also not there. That's a dubbing artist's voice, I think.
That's a dubbing artist. That's actually my post-production supervisor. That's Divya's voice.
Too funny. Too funny.
Riya also ignored my messages and all that kind of stuff. And when I met her, I'm like, "Bro, what's going on? Why?" She's like, "You think I'm going to act? Are you mad?" Like, I'm ignoring her for a reason. But I realized that in that dining table scene, I needed an authority figure. You know, it was important for me. It can't just be Anil over there in control of that room. It needed to be another authority figure. So Anil then told me that Boni had this acting ka keeda way back then. So I said, "Chalo, let me try and trigger this acting keeda if it's possible." So I went to meet him and I explained to him, "मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, वो कर रहा हूँ." So he's like, "तू क्या कर क्या रहा है?" So I said, "Sir, मैं ऐसे ऐसे कर रहा हूँ, ऐसे ऐसे फिल्म है." And he just thought about it. He said, "ठीक है, मतलब अनिल कर रहा है ना?" I said, "हाँ." He says, "बाकी सब ठीक है ना?" He said, "ठीक है, मैं आके करता हूँ." So he didn't know what he was doing. He came to the set. He's too funny in that scene, and he's really really good in that scene. Harsh is fab because English is his natural language, right? He really rehearsed it. You know, he got his stuff right. But his natural language is English, and it shows when you see him perform in English. It definitely shows that he's so natural, and that's his zone that he had. But I love him in that scene. He's so funny. And that moment actually when he falls down and Kapoor is looking at the back like that, was a genuine moment. Like Kapoor had no idea. And it was like, "Ye kya ho gaya? Mera beta gir gaya." He's looking at him saying, "Harsh has fallen."
He's sitting there with like his face in his hand. "Beta, you're doing very good. Beta, you are very good." It's too funny. Really quite incredible. How did you get Anil Kapoor to cuss so much throughout? Every 5 minutes there is something going on.
Have you sat with him in real life?
No.
That's exactly the way he talks.
So you got him to be like, just submit.
Because we knew right in the beginning that this is Netflix. We weren't worried, really about that kind of stuff. Yaar, gaali nahi deni padegi, that kind of stuff. So I think we approached it in a very naturalistic sort of way. And Kapoor is like that. He is that, as he said, Chimbur boy and all that sort of stuff. Chimbur mat jaga. That is him. Like that's the way he talks, and he's so much fun to listen to when he's on a rant or something.
Too funny. Anurag Kashyap is a revelation as an actor. I am not very familiar with his acting performances, the films that he's done. What was it working with him as an actor? You've been friends for 5,000 years.
I saw him acting for the first time. I saw two things. I saw this play he did on stage with Makarand Kaur Sursar Salla, where he was really good. But I also saw him, I don't know if you remember him in Luck by Chance. He's doing the narration to Rishi Kapoor. And Rishi Kapoor says, this A Institute, all that kind of stuff. And he was so good in that scene. So good in that scene. So I was like, "But this guy's a natural." And I asked him also, he said, "Yeah, but I actually came to be an actor," which is why you realize why the performances in his films are always very great. There's that kind of stuff. But in his heart of hearts, wo actor bahut acha. One is there's two parts of acting, right? One is the bit where he's just playing his personality, right? He's playing my troll's version of me. It's what people think I am.
What people think he is, yeah.
Arrogant SOB who will, do these things and just say what the hell he wants and is a complete dick to people. Which is what everybody's done in the film. Like Kapoor's played the version of that gregarious, outgoing,
exaggerated versions of what
exaggerated
people
version
think
of him,
they are.
of himself. Harsh has played the exaggeration stoner version of Harsh Kapoor that you think it actually. They've all done that, right? So, but Anurag, so in that he's great because he's just playing. He's playing that thing very naturally and stuff. But where I was really amazed, even on set, I was amazed is in the, again, without spoilers, is the end where when he's sitting down on that chair and there's a moment when he says, okay, I'm just 47 years old and
I have a daughter.
Your heart goes out to him. On shooting, I was like, oh my God, this guy's actually outdone himself here, because your heart really went out to him in that moment.
Speaking of heart, the film's larger point is about celebrity culture, right? How we talk and deal and kind of absorb actors and their personas and things. So was that always something when you were writing the script and screenplay that you wanted to point your film towards our association with actors, or did that come as the film progressed? As there was this joke and then it turned into this.
No, there was never. So the thing is that part of it is we just wanted to bring that celebrity culture as a part of as what I said at the beginning. It's like at no point in time was that the agenda. The agenda was like fun thriller about and with this story. And I think the key that we kept telling Anil all the time, the key, like he's like, so what am I thinking throughout the entire time? I said, you're just thinking worst day of your life. That's the mantra that's in your head at that point in time, right? There's nothing more than just worst day of my life. So you have to play it that way, and genuinely that way. In fact, there was more in the band. Avi and me had actually said, like, okay, where can we, because every time Anil's going to go and go into a police station, he's going to have people coming after him for selfies. He's going to go anywhere, there's going to be people coming after him for selfies. There's literally, that happens all the time, with all these people. And that's part of it. But again, where do you stop going overboard? Where does it stop becoming a joke anymore? Where does it stop becoming entertaining? Where does it stop, and we try to make it as much about him and the character as opposed to our statement. It's like, we're not making a statement. Whatever statement's coming is coming through the character. So the moment where he's doing My Name is Lakhan, for example, it's like before that, he's done the chase. He's got hit by a car. He's at Grant Road Station. He's vented at that point in time. You feel that main aur kitna nanga ho sakta hu. And then you go on stage and now you have to plead to the audience, main aur bhi nanga ho jaunga. And then finally they're like, nacho matlab aur kitna nanga hona hai bhai. Matlab, so that's the whole thing. It's like, no matter how you are, you're always looked upon as that I am on my best game all the time.
I'm at your disposal constantly.
Correct. For us, it was always that finding that balance where we're making that statement as part of the story. And as part of a character's arc and a character's emotion, as opposed to making a statement without really having that in place. I think sometimes the tendency, especially in the thing like the danger ends up becoming the fact that you can't let your agenda come before your story. And I think that was something that I was extremely conscious of, at this time, to say, like, let's not try and make too many statements.
Right. No, but I think one of the win of AK versus AK is that everything comes together and it falls together like it should. You've managed to get your actors to perform in a fashion that, we've probably not seen Anil Kapoor go this far. He's always having fun. You watch him in Race 3 or like Welcome. He's having fun with what he's doing, even when the surroundings around him are really drab and dull and nobody knows what they're doing. The writers don't know what they're writing. The directors don't know which actor to frame. But Anil Kapoor's always having fun. Here, he's just gone all out like ballistic in a fashion that I have not seen any actor do. And Anurag Kashyap as well, because the film is about the both of them and they carry the weight of the film.
I think we've eventually made what we set out to make. We set out to make a fun meta thriller, and I think that's exactly what it's turned out to be. It's turned out to be a fun meta thriller that has repeat value, that is watchable multiple times, and all that. So that's exactly what we wanted to do. And of course, Netflix's marketing has really helped because they've really gone to town with this and created this entire
billboards and everything. It's been now. Anytime I'm going to talk to Anurag Kashyap, I'm just going to call him all director names. Everything from Madhur Bhandarkar to Basu. That is such a fun running joke throughout the film. Arey Madhur Bhandarkar.
But Anurag Basu moment, I mean, it happened to him many times. Where
I'm sure.
He's given an interview as Anurag Basu, Basu's given an interview as Kashyap. They've done this kind of stuff.
Funny. Well, congrats on the film, man. And it's really fun again to see my name next to Nawazuddin Siddiqui and Sonam Kapoor. It's not something I thought I would ever see, but it's mad fun. And thanks. And like, really, I had a lot of fun watching the film. Congrats.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, thanks.
Mazi, thanks for your time, Vikram.
Anytime.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
At the risk of sounding repetitive, if you like what you saw, subscribe to the channel and share this video with everybody. And thanks for watching.